Welcome back to another edition of Blueprints and Banner. I am your host, Steve Kona, President and CEO of Associated Builders and Contractors, Florida Gulf Coast Chapter. And I am joined again by my co-hosts, our Vice President of Membership, Laura Gross, and our Chairman of the Board, Mr. David Tertios. Welcome, guys.
Hello there.
Thanks.
Dave, let's talk about our sponsors.
Let's. So as always, this content is brought to you thanks in big part to our diamond level sponsors, Advantage Club sponsors, which this year is Gignard Company, Milwaukee Tool, and Piper Fire. We appreciate your continued support of our chapter, which allows us to bring content like this and so many other things to our members.
So this edition of Blueprints and Banner, we're going to focus on the things that we've done, the things that we have coming up, and how you can renew your membership for next year. So we're going to turn it over to our Vice President of Membership, Laura Gross.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Dave. So at this point of the year, we are in renewal season, which is kind of crazy to think about that we're already at that point in the year. So all of our members will shortly be receiving their renewal invoices for 2025. Our goal, of course, is to provide value to all of our members and encourage them to remain members and continue to be involved, because that's what helps our industry grow. It's also what helps our chapter continue to flourish and remain one of the largest chapters within the entire ABC organization, but the largest in the Southeast and the largest in the state. So renewals will be coming out. They are all sent via mail. I know that the mail is less than reliable, but if for some reason you haven't received your invoice, you can always call our office or send me an email, and I'm happy to get that over to you so you can remain a member for 2025.
So as we're setting up for 2025, we have a big event that we do every 2 years, which is our Excellence in Construction Awards. And Laura will tell you how you can register your project.
Yeah, so applications for Excellence in Construction are open. All of the information is on our website. For those members that haven't been part of Excellence in Construction in the past, or EIC as we call it for short, it is an opportunity to submit projects that you've completed against other members' projects to receive high honors and be recognized for all the work that you do. Projects that were completed between January 1st of 2024, or sorry, January 1st of 2023 and December 31st of 2024 are eligible to be submitted for EIC. It does have to be a project that was completed within our chapter area, so Gainesville down to Naples and then as far east as Polk County. But it's a great event to, again, not only highlight what your company does, the things you do well, your safety programs, how you utilize technology, any new and innovative programs that you utilize to get these projects done, get them done on time. But it's also a great opportunity to showcase all of the work that our members are doing across our chapter and our region. Applications, like I said, are open online. The entire application process is online, so you don't have to worry about putting together a book or anything like that. To send out, all of the materials are submitted online. They are then all judged, and then we will award all of our Eagle Award winners in May of 2025 at our big Excellence in Construction ceremony.
Now, Laura, it's not just for general contractors, right?
Correct. It's for general contractors and specialty contractors. There's different categories, whether the project specifically was a healthcare project or an institutional project. And then it's broken down even further by contract value. So if you're worried, oh, we only had $1 million contract, but it was this, very unique project, but we don't want to put it up against a project that was $10 million. Don't worry, because the categories are broken out by revenue. So we keep the playing field pretty level. And we also want to see all of the work that's done. And of course, on the subcontractor side, we've got electrical, mechanical, fire sprinkler, concrete, steel. So we try to make sure that all of the categories are representative of the membership as a whole.
Excellent.
Well, that's always a fun day. I'm assuming it's probably going to be in downtown Tampa again. So as you mentioned, the applications are going to be open soon. That event isn't until next year. What events should members be on the lookout for the rest of this year? Like, what exciting events are coming up?
Well, every event is exciting, as you know, David. But we But we still have a lot of our kind of marquee events left between now and the end of the year. So in October specifically, we've got our annual Cigar Social, which is always a fun event. It's definitely something different than most of our other events. That will be at Rick's on the River. We have our Merit Shop Golf Tournament at the end of October at the Eagles, and we have both courses, so there's plenty of opportunity for all of our members to participate. You don't have to worry about that one getting sold out within 10 minutes of being released. We still have our chili cook-off, which I know is a fan favorite. It's one of my favorite events. Our clay shoot is still left, and then of course we'll have all of our holiday parties, not only in Tampa, but our young professionals will have a holiday party. We'll also have a holiday party down in Fort Myers. So we still have a lot left to do, and if you become a member this year and you haven't come to anything yet, now's a great time to start getting plugged in. There is still a lot of opportunity to attend events between now and the end of the year, and make sure you're seeing the value of your investment.
Yeah, and if you're not a member yet and you're just watching this podcast for the first time, feel free to join at any time. We are open for membership, 12 months out of the year, so join ABC and get involved and plugged in. So Dave, you have been the chairman for almost 3 quarters now. What have you learned? What do you like best? How has the whole experience been for you?
Well, other than getting a chance to work with the two of you that much more, which is an experience within itself, it has been educational. It has been a great time. I can't believe it is almost over. I've had an opportunity to participate in a lot more activities like doing this podcast. And of course, we do the Wind Up Wednesday twice a month with Laura. If you haven't seen that yet, go check it out on all the social media channels.
You want to talk about high quality content?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a great experience. Being the chairman is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I have a lot of belief in what ABC stands for, what they fight for, and so it's something that I've been looking forward to. And as I've said in almost every Wind Up Wednesday that we film, I am proud and honored to be the chairman this year.
And Dave, I will tell you, we've had a very, very productive year. I mean, we've celebrated our 55th anniversary. We won a dramatic and monumentous lawsuit against the city of St. Pete. We passed everything we wanted to do at the state level. So, I mean, not only have you been the chair of 2024, but it was a very successful year for all of us. And your leadership was much appreciative in that time. So thank you very much for all of your efforts.
Well, I appreciate that. I guess I cannot go without saying that all the work is done by the two of you and the rest of the staff in your guys' office. So thank you for everything that you guys do for all the members and for the construction industry.
All right. So the importance we talked about getting your renewals in, getting them in on time. What do we have for them to look forward to in 2025? I think we have a lot to offer, but you want to give some highlights, Laura?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the events that everyone enjoys will continue into 2025. Of course, we'll kick off the year with our Toast to the New Year member dinner, which is always a great way to kind of kickstart the year and talk about the successes that we had the year prior, whether it's in membership size, the number of apprentices that we graduated, political victories, legislative victories, all of those. So that's a great way to start things. But just continuing to expand our reach. We have a goal set in 2025 to not only continue doing events, which we started doing this year in Polk County. We expanded the number of events we did in Polk County this year, but also to look at hosting some events in Gainesville, whether that's in conjunction with the UF student chapter or just with members that are based up there, as that's a part of our chapter area. But the goal is really to just continue making sure we're offering high quality events where relationships can be built, but also training programs, professional development, safety programs, our young professionals group, our next gen leadership program, and just making sure that we're keeping those at a very high level so that there is benefit to being part of ABC and being involved, and that your organization has a one-stop shop resource for whatever they might need.
Yeah, and we try to cater
to real quick about that
at the company, right?
Say that again, Steve.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I say we try to cater to every level of a company, right? So from a young project engineer all the way up to the owner, we like to make sure that we have a niche for everyone in this association, and that's part of all the programming that you and the team come up with. So there's room for everybody here in the association, and I think Dave, you can talk as a member. Getting all of your folks involved in the association. It's not just the person who pays for the membership; it's for the entire company.
Yep, no, it definitely is. And just last month we had an event at the baseball game where most of my office came and just had a great time networking and getting to know all the other ABC members. So I just wanted to piggyback one thing really quick on what Laura said, talking about the Toast the New Year event. That'll be where I officially hand over the gavel to our new incoming chairman, who's going to be Scott Cox with Cox Fire Protection. And what's kind of exciting about that is, I believe, Scott's going to be the first second generation chairman that our chapter has had. His father, Ron Cox, was chairman, I don't even know when. I think it was early, about 10, 15 years ago, probably. But Laura, so, we're hoping people who are not members of ABC are seeing this podcast and listening to it or whatever. Where can they go to find more information about how to be a member and what all the benefits of being a member come with?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our information is on our website. We work really hard to make sure that the website continues to stay updated with relevant information. So abcflgulf.org. There's always a time. I mean, it's very rare if you're ever going to call our office and a live person is not going to answer the phone. So you can always call our office or send me an email, and I'm happy to provide all of that information. And to Steve's point about making sure that we're putting a touch point on all levels of an organization, that's something that I think we take great pride in, and we work really hard to make sure that while it may seem that, yes, we have a ton of stuff on our calendar and we have a lot going on at one time, the reason for that is really so that we can make sure that all pieces, whether it's field supervisor or the CEO, HR, the safety director, that everyone has an opportunity to participate in ABC and that has an opportunity to benefit from the resources that we can provide.
And I think if any members out there have suggestions, and Dave is like the master of suggestions, so if you guys have
suggestion box
of different things that we could be doing as an association, we would love to hear them. And actually, you can go through Dave because he knows exactly how to get his suggestions into the suggestion box. So, no, we want to hear from you. We want to make sure that we're doing a good job. By the end of the year, we're going to send out a member survey figuring out what it is we could be doing better or what it is that we're doing great. And we just want to hear from you as a membership. So we'll make sure that we'll send a member survey out by the end of the year. Because really your feedback is important. It keeps us doing the things that make this industry great. So we would appreciate you guys filling out that when you get it. It's probably going to be sometime in November, but we look forward to of hearing your feedback and any suggestions that you have for us. Anything that I'm missing, Dave, Laura?
And speaking of suggestions, we should have 2 more podcasts to do before this year is over. So if there's any topics that any of our members would like us to speak on, or if there's any industry experts that you think would be good to hear from, please let us know. You can come through me since I'm apparently Mr. Suggestion. I'll take that title, though, I get it. Or you can reach out to the ABC office and ask to speak with Steve or Laura. This to be, we have fun doing it, but we want it to be something that people can get something out of. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I see this podcast getting expanded to actually, have our members on there and talk about their projects. I mean, maybe make it like a global coffee and contractors. We want to hear about projects all throughout our chapter area and how we can promote and highlight them. So I think Blueprints and Banner is going to go to another level next year. This is our first step into the podcast world, but I think that we're learning a lot during this process, and we want to make it better. So, any thoughts and feedback you have on that, we're happy to take it. And I'm sure that Laura and Dave will take some feedback on their Wind Up Wednesdays. as well. So
we've only gotten good feedback. So
We have. I mean, I'm pretty sure Wind Up Wednesday is the top rated ABC video that's done on a monthly basis. And I'm pretty sure this podcast is the top rated ABC podcast that's done. So
it's just we're full of talent. We're full of talent here.
So what else should we cover, guys? I mean, we have a couple minutes left. I think it's important that we get through the end of this year. Obviously, we have elections coming up, and that's gonna take a lot of the air out of November and December. But we look forward to bringing some quality content and getting some really good things done for the industry by the end of the year. Anything else, Dave, Laura, that you guys have?
the only thing I will add is we're right around the corner from Election Day. So I encourage everybody to get out and vote, obviously. On our website is a list of individuals who ABC endorses. And I will make the plea to make sure that if there's nothing else that you're looking at, take a look at the individuals who are supporting the construction industry. Unfortunately, not all individuals do. So it's very important that we help keep those people in office, and anyone that don't support the construction industry, it's important that we can get them replaced so that, obviously construction's hard enough. So nobody needs more red tape to get in the way to just do what you're trying to do.
And I think a lot of people don't quite get all the work that we as an industry and we as a chapter put in. Every candidate that we've endorsed, we've personally met with, from presidential candidates all the way down to school board candidates. We put a lot of work in making sure that the people who are running for elected office understand what our industry means to the economy, what our workers mean to the economy, and putting all that together. And so a lot goes into those endorsements. They're just not names that we pick out of a hat. We really go through an extensive process. Dave and Laura, you guys have been part of that process this year. It's time consuming, it's tedious, but we're doing what's best for the industry. So they're just not names that we put on the paper.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only thing I would add before we sign off is just kind of echoing what you mentioned, Steve, about members making sure that they communicate to us what it is they need or they're looking for from us, something maybe that we haven't yet provided that would be a benefit to them. We kind of say it all the time, but we only know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know. And we would rather make sure that our programming, events, and all of that is what our members need and not us just kind of throwing it at the wall and hoping it sticks. So while Dave does love to give suggestions, we do take them and think about if that's something or how do we implement it. But it's super important that our members are telling us what they need so that we can continue to make sure that we're providing value to them.
Dave, any final thoughts before we check out today?
I don't think so. I guess the one thing I will say is Laura's been a great add to this podcast. So hopefully we see her on future podcasts as well.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, considering you won't be the chairman next year, we had to, kind of warm somebody up. But I know you're always willing to be part of this, and this is a great thing that we're doing. I think it's going to grow, and we look forward to you guys continuing to grow with us. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Go to wherever you get your favorite podcast and like and subscribe to us. We want to grow this. We want to make this the best construction podcast in the state. But we'll start with just in Tampa. How about that? In Fort Myers,
in the world,
all of our chapter areas. So we'll start with that. We'll start small and work our way up. So thank you guys very much for joining us on another edition of Blueprints and Banner from Dave and Laura and myself. Wishing you guys a very constructive day. See you next time.
Take care.
Bye.